Hey everybody, Cynthia here. I'm back to show you guys a tutorial on how I created my Matchbook style gift card holders. And this was requested that I do this tutorial. I'm going to show you how to put these together, how to make bows without the punch board, and also how to create the envelopes that they go in. This originally was not my idea. I got the idea from Muriel. She's Ms. Cooper's Coop here on YouTube, and Muriel got the idea from Bona, who is Live Love Scrap. I will post the link below to both of their channels. Bona does a tutorial on how to make these from the Prima tags. I didn't have the Prima tags, but I still wanted to make them because I thought her idea was super adorable. They're so quick to put together, and they're just great to have on hand. Plus, she used the little bow down on the bottom, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was so sweet. So I'm going to show you how to make these, but if you want to make them from the Prima tags, she has a different tutorial. Make sure you head over and check that out, okay? So we're going to get started. First, we're going to create our bow. Now, if you don't have an envelope punch board to create your bow, you don't need one. I'm going to show you real quick how I just made this one by hand without the punch board. It's pretty simple, okay? What I started with for this size bow, I have a 3.5 inch by 1 inch. I have a 4 inch by 1 inch and a 5 inch by 1 inch paper, okay? So what we're gonna do is take the 3.5 inch, we're going to put that aside. And we're going to start with our bottom layer, which is the 5 inch. I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, I'm going to get my scissors. And I'm going to cut it at an angle at these two top pieces here, in towards the center. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to eyeball it. But you want to make sure you get them even. Flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Okay, so when you open it back up, it should look like that. Now what I do, take some glue, put a tiny bit on the edge here, and a tiny bit on this edge, and we're going to meet them up into the center. Okay, hold that down a minute till it dries. Take this edge, meet it up into the center, and you've already got your first layer for your bow. Now I'm going to push these back out so they're a little more rounded, but for right now I'm going to set this aside and do the second part. Fold it in half. And we're going to snip off these edges. And we're going to do the same to this side. Open it back up. Okay. Add my glue here and here. And meet them up into the center. Same thing on this side. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back here. And I'm going to put it on top of the first piece that we just made. I'm going to let that dry a little bit, set that aside, and we're going to make our tails. I'm going to fold this in half. Now the open-ended pieces, I'm going to cut like a pyramid to make my fishtails. Okay, that's for the open-ended pieces. As you can see. Now the center piece, I'm going to cut just like the other cuts we made for the bow. Okay, you open that back up and you have your tails. Now, you can just glue this on top if you want it to. It'll create a bow like that. Or you can do what I did and make your tails come down. Now, if you have the same color paper on both sides. All you need to do is kind of fold this over and you'll get a tail that looks like that. Okay, but if you're using double-sided paper or paper that has a decorative front and like a white back, you don't want to do that because you'll have one piece that's white and one piece that's decorative. You just want to kind of fold them into each other in the center here. See how I'm just kind of bending them in? Okay, I'm going to do that again. Just going to fold them in until I get the angle I want at the bottom. And that's it. That's all I did. Okay, you can also cut this if you want and kind of glue them on top of each other. That's up to you, but I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there, layer it down, hold it. Then I'm going to add some glue to the whole top here, and I'm going to glue on my bow. Okay, now as I'm holding the center, because the glue needs to dry a little bit, I'm just going to stick the end of a rounded paintbrush. Let's see if I can do this. This might be too big. Let's see. Nope, there we go. And I'm just going to kind of round them out again. Because when you're working with paper, it tends to, you know, flatten out a little bit. Okay. You could just push on the centers if you want. Round them out so they're nice and smooth. There's our bow. We have two bows here. And then for the centers, I'm using the Pretty Poinsettia felt buttons. These were gifted to me by Misha. She Scraps and Things 1 here on YouTube. Hi, Misha. And I'm going to get some pop dots. Probably pop out two here, foam dots. This I use, put one on there, and then I'm going to peel this off, and because it's a felt button, I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue and my poinsettia piece. Okay, so that's done. You get this one done here. I'm using a foam pop dot. There it is. Poinsettia, however you want to say it. And my button. And I'll probably put two yellow gems in it later, just like I did on this one. Okay, so that's how you create your paper bows without a punch board. I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to go right on to creating the tag in order to make the gift card holder. So like I said, I didn't have a Prima tag. So I came up with the measurements, and you're going to need a piece of cardstock or double-sided paper, any kind of paper you want. You really don't have to use double-sided. And your piece is going to measure 8 inches long by 3.5 inches wide. Okay. Now I'm going to show you where to line this up on your cutter so that you can get a steep enough angle on your tag piece up here, so you can get a steep enough angle to where it's going to tuck in to the bottom of your matchbook without hitting the sides. And that way you can adhere your bottom sides on both sides and it won't interfere. Okay, so you're going to take your cardstock, move my camera, this bottom corner here, you're going to line it up with your 2.5 inch mark down here. So this bottom corner, 2.5 inches. Now this top corner, we're going on the other side of the cutter here, which I showed you guys how to do this in tag time as well. You're going to go to the 1/4 inch mark, which if you look down on your cutter on the opposite side, you have the 1 inch, the 1/2 inch, and then the 1/4 inch is right here. So it would be like this first black line. Okay, 2.5, and first black line. And you're gonna make your cut. Oh, I'm sorry. I went out to the 1/2 inch. Let me do that again. Let me try it again over here. 2.5 to the 1/2 inch. We're going to the 1/2 inch, guys. I knew it was a 1/2 inch, not the 1/4 inch. Ay, ay, ay. 2.5 inches down here. This corner piece, 2.5. And you're gonna take this corner and you're gonna move it all the way out to the 1/2 inch mark. Okay, you're gonna line it up there and then you're gonna make your cut. So let me fix this other side here so that I have a steep enough angle. There we go. Okay, so we have our tag. Let me get out my scoreboard. Making all this banging noise here. Gonna line it up. So that your tag part's at the top here, okay? You're gonna line it up and you're gonna score at the 1 inch, 4 3/4 of an inch, and then you're gonna score it again at 5. Okay, let's fold up our tab. These are the two sides that we're gonna glue, okay? And this is gonna be your matchbook style, so you wanna fold these. But then you want to kind of lay them flat, like that. Can you guys see? Okay. And then I usually run my bone folder over and just kind of make sure that has a nice crisp edge to it. Okay. Like I said, super simple to make. Now I'm just going to use my ATG gun, and I'm going to add on the very edge some tape here. Some tape here, and I'm going to fold it up and run my bone folder over it so the edges are nice and glued down. And I don't have a gift card on hand, but it will fit your gift card in there, okay? And then all you have to do is tuck this top piece tag right in there. Now you want to add your bow to it, so you only want to put glue on the bottom piece here, because you don't want it to interfere where you tuck in your tag. And then add your bow. Okay, so that's the matchbook style gift card holder. Now we're going to make the envelope. I use computer paper for my envelope. It's more cost effective because I make a lot of them. So you're gonna get, let me see, a piece of cardstock or your computer printer paper, and it needs to be 8.5 inches wide by 10. Okay, you're gonna line it up at the 10-inch mark. And you're going to score at the 3 and the 7. Then you're going to flip it, line it up for the 8.5 inches. You're going to score at 1.5 and 6.5. Okay? Let's fold our lines up. We're going to be cutting off the 4 corners. I'm sure you guys have seen me make these before. I make a lot of them this style. It's just so easy for me. And you don't need to use punch boards or anything like that. Okay, let's open it back up. And we're going to trim off this corner and this corner. So you just want to cut it on your score line to meet up to the next one. And the same thing over here. Cut off this corner here. And this one. And then we're going to cut off our top corners as well. And then what I like to do before I put it together is I like to round off my corners and make a little border, you know, for the, just to make the envelope look fancy. Okay, we are going to put these two flaps together, so I just add adhesive on this side, and I put two little strips down of glue and flap that over. And then down here on the bottom flap, I'm going to round the edges. Okay, add some adhesive. Now if you're going to mail these, which I don't know if you will, you definitely want to use really good heavy cardstock. I'm going to get my 1-inch circle punch. I'm going to open up my envelope, slide this in halfway in the center, punch that out. That just makes it easier to pull out the gift card holder. I see a little piece sticking out I want to fix. And then the top piece here for this envelope, I use my Martha Stewart scallop punch, and that's it. It's pretty much how you create the envelope. It's really easy. You can use these envelopes for anything really, little gift pouches. I think Laura was using this type of a style. Laura Loves Lace. Hey Laura. She was making one similar to this to make little gift pouches out of, so you could use it for that too, not just as an envelope. But as you can see, it will fit the, and open it back up, and it fits the gift card pretty nice. And that's it, guys. That's how to make your bows and your matchbook style gift card holders and your envelopes. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And again, if you have the Prima tags, head on over to bonus channel Live Love Scrap for her tutorial. It's fantastic. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day.